All right, Tate, we are officially live on the second episode of Two States at One Time.
The second episode. Welcome back.
It's good to be here. We've got our.
Just burnt my mouth on that coffee.
Oh yeah, I actually drank my coffee at the same time. What are you having for
That's
coffee?
awesome. Well, whatever the breakfast blend is from Costco.
do you go for drip or is it like the Keurig?
Oh, it's the Keurig. Come on.
Okay. Is it? You think it's better than drip? Give me a quick comparison.
What I have right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I've had this for a long time, so it's just all reliable at this point. Like it tastes pretty much the same to me.
Which is bad, but it works because it's coffee.
It works because of coffee. Yeah, just put a little like cream in there, and then I'm like, all right, here we are.
Yeah, did I tell you my brother bought an espresso bar? So
an entire espresso bar?
Yeah, so we can like have a steam wand. We can pull dubs. Like I got one in my kitchen. It's actually kind of genius. I think it was like $400 though. Like they're not cheap.
Damn,
no, I know they're not cheap. But anyways,
all right.
Him and I are actually we'll get to that. I was gonna say we're gonna move out, but we'll talk about moving out later.
Oh,
so we've just been buying a lot of appliances, but we'll get there. The first thing I wanted to talk about, juiciest topic, is due to parent complaints, Utah's largest school district bans 52 books from its libraries. As of right now, this is like not permanent. The goal is to have district board members have a vote and adopt some kind of policy that's going to guide their decisions on whether to return the books or permanently ban them. The whole complaint is focused on books being inappropriate for children or even having pornography, which I guess is against the law in Utah. I'm not sure on the logistics of that, but I guess initial impression as a Utah resident now.
A Utah resident, yeah. What is my initial impression on all this?
Yeah, just gut reaction before like any logic. You see this headline, you're like,
not surprised. I saw that going around and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not surprised. Like, I feel like every other week, like something stupid's happening here. Like they're just doing dumb shit.
Oh, that's good. That's golden. It's not good. It's bad, actually, but it's predictable.
I live in this state. I'm going to be in this state for a few more years, but this state sucks ass.
That kind of goes back to our first episode of would you rather live in Oregon or Utah?
Oh,
do you want your kids to be able to read books?
No, yeah. Do I want my kids to be able to read books? Fuck no. Stay here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
One thing I did want to bring up was that out of these 52 books that they've pulled, 21 of them feature characters or themes that are LGBTQ+. And actually one book titled Sex, If You're Scared of the Truth, Don't Read This, accidentally caught a stray. So this book is getting banned, and the whole premise of the book is why schools should teach abstinence, which is currently, as I've been informed, what Utah schools do teach.
Oh, 100%.
They don't teach safe sex. They just teach don't have sex.
Yeah, I mean, what's the safest way of having sex but to not have sex?
I mean, are they wrong?
That's like whenever my friends do maybe some illegal things, I'm like, the safest way to do drugs is to not do drugs.
There you go. Yeah, honestly. Wait, are we conservative talking pieces? Be honest with me.
Oh God, I don't know.
Is this the new? What are we? Fox News here?
Were we Fox News? 100%.
That actually,
have you seen us?
Really weird tangent on Fox News. Actually, at Dutch Bros, a customer came through and was like, "When are you all getting pumpkin?" And I was like,
"What does that have to do with Fox News?"
Yeah, we're getting there. We're warming up to it. And I was like, I don't know, because we actually at Dutch Bros, it's not like Starbucks where we get pumpkin like 3 years in advance and then like just have it lingering. It's just gonna show up one day, and like probably the day before we're gonna start using it with a little sign on the instructions for the recipes.
So fucking funny.
As is the Dutch Bros tradition to not fucking tell you anything and then just throw it on you. But she's like, I know you like have it, and I was like, I think you're thinking of Starbucks because I actually don't have it. And she's like,
fucking funny.
She's like, I was watching Fox News last night, and they said Dutch Bros is getting it sooner than Starbucks, and I was like. Wait a second. First of all, why the fuck is Dutch Bros on Fox News? That's the first thing I want to know. And second, why are they talking about pumpkin spice lattes?
I mean, What the fuck? So I wanted to have a witty comment, but that's so like out of pocket. Well, Fox News says you guys are gonna have pumpkin way before Starbucks.
Bitch, we don't have pumpkin. We really don't have it. Like,
Oh my
it,
god.
I don't know. When she left, I told all my coworkers about it, and they were all just in shock, like as much as I was. Because, like, what do you do in that moment when you're like, customer insists that Fox News let them know you have pumpkin, and you're like,
Like they got the inside scoop. Well, Fox News says that you guys are gonna get it way before Starbucks.
it's. I fucking wish. I really do wish we had pumpkin. I would be having it probably every day. Were you a big fan of pumpkin?
Are you okay? When the season comes, I'll get like a little pumpkin drink and I'll partake. I'll be a little pumpkin spice latte, like little girly for a little bit,
Mhm.
with the Uggs and everything. I'll feel like, oh my God, this is so fun. But like maybe one or two drinks. I'm not like a diehard pumpkin fan.
Really? Okay, I am actually. When pumpkin comes out, I get it like every day. And that's
Holy
like
shit.
I have to live with myself knowing that every morning I start my breakfast with like 220 calories of pumpkin goodness.
Pumpkin sauce. I
Of
love that.
The pumpkin yumminess. I will say I actually don't get pumpkin from Dutch Bros. I always go to
Really?
Starbucks. Yeah. Did you
You know what? I agree. I agree with that take. I think the pumpkin. I don't know if it's the same shit. It's probably not because Starbucks has their own shit that they get.
Did you work at
supply line.
Starbucks during the pumpkin season?
Well, I worked early enough in that we did have it for a time
Did it,
before like it
what was the
like,
brand? Do you know?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, fuck.
My time at Starbucks was like a fleeting memory.
Mm.
I think if everyone that I worked with said I was a great employee and I was like awesome. But I think if I got rehired, I would have to fully go back through training, not knowing a thing. I don't remember how to do anything there.
Oh, on God. What about Dutch Bros? Yeah, I don't think you
Well-
know a thing about that either. I'll say it.
Well, the thing is, for some reason, that fucking company drills itself into your brain, and it's like, when I came back for the summer, I was like, I scored better on the tests than when I first got hired, and I was like, what the shit's going on?
Maybe you were making the drinks all wrong all along, and then when they changed them, you were just getting it right. What do you think
You're full
about
of
that?
shit. You're full of
What do you
shit.
think about that? Because recently, Dutch Bros has changed a lot of their classic drinks, the recipes.
I
What are
don't
your-
understand that. I don't get that.
I
They
don't.
don't charge for extra flavor, but like, what? They just taste worse now.
I'm wondering. Yeah, it definitely does. I'm wondering if because Dutch Bros is like really focused on expanding right now. They're trying to get like 800 stands next year.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
They don't need to do that.
They do. But and I think the problem is keeping quality, the same. Because imagine you launch a new stand in like fucking Missouri, because that's where our newest one just launched, right? And you're
Our
trying to,
newest one.
yeah, I
behavior.
guess, like I'm in a fucking cult, I know. But the newest one launched in like Missouri, and imagine trying to like teach these people that for some reason kickers and annihilators get 2 scoops, and fucking nothing else does.
Well, the thing is, it made zero sense, but so many people have worked there for so long. Like, I came back, and I was like, yeah, I used to work here in whatever 2019,
Mhm.
and they're like, oh, it was a bunch of people. They're like, yeah, I've been working here for years, and I'm like, all right, good for you. But I don't understand because when I was first hired, everyone goes through that thing where they're like, okay, so why do they get 2 scoops? And they're like, because they're the classics, and you're like, okay,
Because I
Some of the
fucking
classics
said
don't
so.
get 2 scoops. Yeah, all right. Fucking Mr. Dutch Bro said it gets extra, so we give it extra.
If you don't do 2 scoops, fucking Travis busts in the back door with a paddle, beats
Oh,
your
no.
ass. If you ever forget that an annihilator or kicker has 2 scoops. Well, not that they
then
do
all-
anymore.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're like, nah, we changed it. And I asked like our management, our like whatever leadership team, and I was like, wait, so why did we change it? They're like, I don't know.
That's
It's-
the worst part is it began with I don't know and it ended with I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like-
that was the whole conversation.
It's like, yeah, just do it because I fucking said so. And then, okay, just stop doing it because I said so. And that's actually kind of been the Dutch Bros motto for like ever, actually. Because like sometimes shit's like a mocha, or I've just been informed that when you put ice cream into a blended energy drink, which is unholy, but some people order it that way.
Mhm.
You actually only put 1 ounce instead of 2.
You're kidding me. I made all those drinks wrong.
Yeah, of course you did. Because everyone did. And when you make a blended chocolate milk, you're supposed to put chocolate sauce in it. But like no
What?
one does that. Not one goddamn person does that. I tell you that right now.
What the? That doesn't make any sense.
Because they say it tastes like shit if you don't put the chocolate sauce in it. And it's
We've
just,
been serving it, and people love it though.
yeah, I don't know. I guess they have to specifically ask for just blended chocolate milk. You're supposed to
Isn't
put the
that
sauce.
what they're meaning when they say, "Hey, can I get a blended chocolate milk?"
Yeah, that's what I would think, but I don't
Whatever.
know. That was our Dutch Bros spiel though, because we couldn't have it on the first episode with Caleb because he was,
Yeah.
in leadership. He's not in leadership anymore.
I actually know that. Yeah, I was like, damn.
That's finally like public information, by the way. So
Really?
we can say that. Yeah, he's officially like transitioning into a normal like barista role again.
No,
so.
yeah. I haven't talked with him about it, but I talked with Hannah, his roommate.
Oh
and
wow.
I was like, damn, that shit. So I need to call him up. I told him we should like chat soon. So.
That'd be good. Definitely. I think
Yeah.
I spoke with him recently about it. He came kind of give me some of his thoughts, but that's for him, That's all.
Yeah.
That's all his stuff. But
That's his business.
anyways, to get back cuz we had a nice little rant there.
Yeah, to get back to banning to books.
Yeah, I guess maybe we can look on the bright side for a second, which is did you have any last thoughts, I guess, on the Utah banning books? Honestly,
On
just
the
not
Utah
surprising.
no, I'm not surprised. Like, I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen them ban books that are just trying to show other perspectives on life. Like, this state is just so controlled by the religion of like the LDS Church. Like, there's so many people in
LDS.
power, and they've
What is
because
that?
apparently the Mormon Church,
Okay.
Latter-day Saints, like,
Okay.
they don't like being called Mormons, even though that was a whole thing. They were like, "Go Mormon" or something. I don't know. It's weird, but they so many people in power that they can just kind of control stuff, which is rough.
Okay. I actually have one more angle, right? We can kind of tackle this from another
One more
perspective.
angle.
Yeah, before we move on, which is basically they're trying to argue that some of these books have like pornography in them, and whether or not we agree or like disagree, I think is its own kind of could be like
Yeah,
a
that's its
topic
own
of some
deal.
sort. But I guess the angle that I wanted to approach it at is like a lot of books have like this kind of stuff. It could be like triggering or it could be
like sensitive
inappropriate.
material.
Exactly, yeah. So, and obviously they're not really banning these style of books, and I think these topics are kind of very relevant to be in literature, especially for like high school age.
Yeah, I feel like
students.
at a high school age, like that's when I started to like actually, I don't know, take interest in things and start caring about things. Because I mean, before then I was just kind of a meat sack walking around. I was like, oh. Then like middle high school, I started to actually like use my brain.
Right,
So,
right, and you
I
kind
think
of
it's important.
are a sponge. You soak in a lot of the stuff you're seeing.
Yeah,
Like you can
It's
learn a
important
lot.
to see a lot of different things, not just America.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
Well-
yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask if you think maybe there should be one thing I was considering is like a section at the library, because right now they pulled the books. They're not on shelves. You can't get them. You have to
right
go.
now- and even at some like bookstores, they don't sell them anymore. So you have
What
to go to
the-
like special places. Like there's queer bookstores that make sure that's like what they sell, and it's like it's cool. I mean,
It's
but
cool that they exist, but it sucks that they have to
it's-
exist.
Yeah, it sucks that they have to because
Like, why can't they just be in bookstores?
yeah,
Wait a
literally.
But
I have a lot of weird thoughts on that where it's like, I don't know, I just don't really have respect for people in power in Utah at this point, because it's like, if you're going to keep pushing that agenda, then you're going to be ruining a lot of lives, And maybe
Yeah.
not ruining, but you're going to be steering a lot of lives into a very closed-minded way, because it's like, maybe none of this even is information that someone needs in their life, but I mean, there's no harm in hearing these other stories.
no, yeah, exactly. And I was considering like, there's a lot of like classic like literature that features like topics on sexuality, sexual abuse,
Mhm.
this kind of thing. And I was wondering if maybe they should have like just a section that says like sensitive information or like, I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, like if I wanted to read the young adult books when I was in middle school, I had to get like my mom's signature saying I could go into that section and get like stuff that might have swearing or whatever. And because I was in like 7th grade, right?
Yeah, that would make sense, because like, yeah, having a little bit of like protection around sensitive material, that's one thing, but I think it's just that the people in Utah don't want people getting this information. They're just trying to block it out.
Yeah, they just said, fuck it.
I said that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. There aren't gay people. They aren't
Gay
real.
people are invented by the bourgeoisie.
They're turning the frogs gay.
Exactly.
No, I follow. Yeah, I think I don't have too much more to talk about on the topic because it kind of just sucks in general. And
Yeah, it does.
but I think it's a good, at least consideration for like we could section off sensitive material in one area and still have it be available. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
I mean that makes sense for like just in general. Because I mean, if you go to a library and you're looking for whatever Percy Jackson, and then you find some story about a gay guy getting beat to death, you know, sometimes that just sucks to see on
Yeah,
the shelf, and you're
yeah.
like, damn.
and then it's not even about like the sexual content or like the identity part.
Just
It's like
about, damn.
violence.
fuck?
Yeah. No, I follow. But all right, let's look on the bright side for a second, which is, are you a big book reader?
I'm a decent book reader.
Okay.
Decent book. I read a lot of like fantasy fiction is the thing. So like whenever I tell people I read, they're like, "Oh," and then I tell them I read fantasy, and they're like, "Oh."
Oh.
So that's
What kind of
been,
fantasy? Like you're talking like Lord of the Rings type thing, Children of Time,
I've
like
been reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson recently, which funnily enough, he's a Mormon writer.
is he? Okay. Let's go.
His writing's insane. He does a lot of good shit, but all of his books are like, he's got a few giant fantasies where it's like the books will be 1,000 pages long. You know,
Oh
if
my
you listen
God.
to an audio version, they're 40 hours plus, and so it's
Good.
like a lot of stuff. But there's some good representation in his books. I would say. I'd say he's not the worst person in the world.
Okay. And it's kind of interesting. You can actually get a lot of authors who are like really, and I'm not saying this individually because it sounds like maybe they're, at least in their writing, they're pretty cool. But a
Yeah.
lot of authors who are like honestly like really shitty people, but they wrote really cool books. And that's like,
Yeah, no,
that's,
I totally get that.
yeah, it's not even just in literature. Like I think about like music industry or whatever, like, I don't know. Just
Yeah, like
fucking
there's tons of like really talented people that are just also fucking
awful.
shitty. Like what was
Chris
his name?
Brown.
R. Kelly. And Chris
R.
Brown,
Kelly,
all
yep.
that. Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
you-
they did a lot of shitty stuff, but like, you know, their music turns on, you're like,
All right. It's kind of hits.
fuck, this kind of pops.
Yeah. No, I follow. And that's kind of like a, I don't know, a sad thing about like people who are really talented, I guess. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they're normal people too. So like they're just equally as likely to be shitty as like any other person. But yeah.
God. I've never thought about it that way. I always just think of them as shitty people. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, they could have, yeah.
They could be good. They could be shit. You
They
never
could
know.
be good. They could be shit. That goes, it's like pretty much a 50-50 for any person.
Did you have to read any of the classical fiction books when you were growing up being homeschooled?
So yeah, I was homeschooled. I read like some like I mean I read like The Book Thief. That's like
Is
pretty
that-
like that's like a staple
Is
in like
it?
reading.
I don't know what
I
that
feel like it
is.
Holy shit, you don't know The Book Thief?
No, I had to read like Old Man in the Sea and like
I mean I read like Huck Finn and stuff
okay,
like that.
Huck Finn.
Animal Farm.
Okay. So these, yeah, I'm familiar with. I just not the Book Thief. I never read it.
The Book Thief's just a good book. It's about like the Holocaust and it's
Oh, okay.
following this Jewish guy that's hiding out in his family's home. And
What's
and
the Book Thief part of it like? How does the
I don't
title
wanna
tie in?
It's a really sad book, you know.
Oh.
It's because, you know, they were burning books during
Okay.
the Holocaust.
And he was trying to save them.
Well, no,
No.
it's been a long time, so I don't want to like give like any of my
Like
thoughts on it because it's been long enough that I don't fully remember like all the details. I just remember it being a really impactful book.
No, okay, I follow. Yeah, I was actually like when I was getting ready for this like episode, I was trying to think about some books in my head that I had to read in high school that had like themes of like, you know, sexuality or like sexual assault or whatever in them.
And you were drawing a blank.
No, I remembered like To Kill a Mockingbird and like Kite Runner, you know? I don't know if you read either of those books.
I didn't. Being homeschooled, I read really like. It was a weird selection.
Okay. Well, those are, I mean, TLDR, I guess, like in To Kill a Mockingbird, the main character's father is like an attorney who's been assigned like a case where this black man is being accused of raping a white woman. And it's based on this like real trial where like 5 kids aged like 12 to like 19 were all falsely like accused and are like arrested on a trial for like rape, you know?
Damn.
It's kind of sad. Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff, but and I had to read that book in school, you know? So like
No, yeah, there's some serious books.
Oh, I will clarify. I think it was a good read and an important read. I just mean
100%.
I just mean
I
like
should get to that.
they're like I don't know. I guess how is like these kind of books allowed? But like
No,
if they're gay, it's not. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, because I mean, if they're
real.
gay, it's against the Lord's will.
No, true.
Oh my god.
But no, I've been myself reading a lot of like classical fiction right now. I'm trying to get caught up on a lot of some of the more iconic books that my high school just didn't assign. Are you familiar with either The Catcher in the Rye or Fahrenheit 451? Or...
I'm familiar with both of those.
Really? Did you read both, or you just know of them?
I know Fahrenheit 451, and I read some of Catcher in the Rye because it was like one that was assigned to me during my like schooling, but then I like just didn't finish it, but I got by.
Did you not like it?
Like I was just lazy at that point in my life.
I actually really like the book. It obviously like I just read it, so it's pretty fresh in my mind. The main character like Holden is like 16 in the book, and like I just vibe with the stupid shit he's doing and the way he's feeling, because like I guess I don't want to spoil it in case you ever want to read it, but basically he's a 16-year-old guy who like ran away from this private school and is hanging out in New York, which is like not that far from where his school is, so it's not like some big trip like Oregon to fucking New York. But
yeah, it's not some like cross the state kind of kind of deal.
He just hops on a train and he's in New York, and he's got all these weird fucking questions, and he's trying to figure some shit out. Like where do the ducks go? Like the ducks in the New York pond go when winter happens and the lake freezes.
No, literally.
And like he tries to like ask people, and they give him the stupidest fucking answers. Like one guy just says like, why does it fucking matter? One guy says they just freeze in the lake and stay there, and Mother Nature takes care of them. It's kind of like, I guess, symbolic of like people giving you advice, how really it's kind of shitty, getting advice. And like honestly nobody else really has it figured out, but it was good. It was cheeky, I think.
He's just asking a bunch of shitters for advice. I like to think it in that way.
Basically, yeah, and none of them have any good advice, but no, it has some pretty intense themes on like, I guess throwing it back to like sexual abuse, because the main character was sexually abused, or at least heavily alludes to it. And there's a real weird scene where he gets roofied, or maybe gets roofied. He like goes to this guy's house and stays the night, wakes up, and he's like petting his head, and he has like fucking diarrhea, and like he's sick and like faints, and it's weird. It's weird. He's probably
sounds like it's a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. It was, but it was kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of social commentary I really liked. Like he goes to a preschool or something, or like a kindergarten, and somebody went in there with like a Sharpie and like wrote "fuck school" on like the wall, and it pisses him off, because he's like, that's the problem, you go anywhere and people just write "fuck school" on every wall, but like,
you go anywhere these days, fuck school.
I don't know, it's good. But the other one I was reading was A Brave New World. Have you read that one?
I have not. I've not even heard of that one.
Okay, well, I just started.
I don't know if it's bad on me, my schooling. I mean,
or both. Yeah. No, it's I thought it'd be a good book for like 2022, because it's a lot about like AI, machine learning. So far, I'm 2 chapters in, so I can't spoil anything, honestly. But basically, they found a way to turn like one like fetus and like sperm cell or something into like 10,000 children.
Oh,
in a lab, and it's some real like fucked up like when they're describing the process, it's like kind of just weird as fuck, and you're like, why? Like it's kind of against nature. And basically in like chapter 2, you find out all the kids are split up into alphas, betas, and like epsilons, and you're just rich, poor, or garbage from the beginning. And they like teach the like epsilons to be scared of nature, like as babies. Anytime they try and play with like flowers, they like fuck them up, like the babies,
Oh, God.
But it's because they want them to stay in like factories and like slave away, I don't, it's weird shit. Okay. Anyways, it's a commentary on like labor and humanity, and
okay.
I can't recommend or not recommend it. I just got started, but it's
I get that.
It's iconic.
Okay. Maybe I need to expand my my reading portfolio.
I don't know. It's if you're into like classical fiction, I feel like they talk about a lot of important themes. It's kind of why they're like classics, is they're like, oh, this is telling us about what it means to be a human, or this is some serious stuff or whatever, like Huck Finn or whatever, so.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm kind of, I don't know. I mean, like, I haven't read a lot of classical fiction, so I don't feel like my fantasy fiction knowledge will mesh well with this. So, are we thinking next topic?
Yeah, we can go to the next one.
We can talk about that.
You pick the topic. Where are we headed to? Give me direction.
Yeah, okay, let's go. So, kind of segueing away from books, because that's like for smart people. Let's go with something a little bit less for smart people, like talking about getting hacked. Let's talk about getting hacked.
Can your book get hacked? Is that a thing?
Yeah, can your book get? I mean,
can somebody go
using like an online thing?
Can somebody scribble out the good parts? Fuck, man. No, getting hacked. Yeah, I guess I'll just kick it off by saying, I think somebody got hacked and tried to send me a message about like, give me your Cash App and I'll send you $700.
Wait, was that someone you know?
No, but okay.
Basically, you sent me that screenshot and I was like, oh, based. It looks so real.
Yeah, but I clicked on that lady's account, right? And she's had that account since 2019.
Nah, no way.
And she's actually been posting real shit, like pictures of her with her kids, like her buying a new car, like her and her boy. Like I think it's actually a real account that got hacked.
That's funny as fuck.
Or someone has the longest con ever going, and I'll send you the account after this, and you can suss it out for yourself.
Please,
but
please.
The problem is, you literally see the same person go from being like 19 to like 24 or whatever that they are now. You know what I mean?
That's fucking crazy.
So I think
to be a hack then, right?
I feel like it's a hack. But I also want to say that I have actually I don't think I've been hacked. Have you?
Have I been? I maybe. I don't. I'm trying to think back, and I feel like that's definitely something that would have happened to me. Mm-hmm. So, and because we've been on the internet for so long, I easily could have been hacked on something when I was younger and like really not noticed.
Yeah, I guess that could have happened to me too. I just mean, is there any like distinct memories where your fucking account is posting this shit like Ray-Bans for free? Message me, like. You know what I mean?
No, I haven't had that happen to me yet, but it will come. It will come. It's happened to almost everyone I know.
Okay. It probably will happen to me. I'm not going to be like naive, but you know me, and I make some secure ass passwords. Now that we have shared social media, like, hey. Yes,
I was like, all right.
Let's go.
It's more than the what was needed. Wow.
Yeah, I go above and beyond. That's for sure. So I guess with the getting hacked and the I guess the ad or whatever, the message you get for like Cash App, $700, send me a picture of your butthole. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but here we are.
That's truth. That's truth.
Here we are. I guess. What are your thoughts on all these like sugar mama / sugar daddy like phishing scams? Like, did these work?
Okay, so I have a few friends that have actual sugar mamas and like sugar daddies and stuff, and like this scariest shit is that they found them through shit like that, but they would just happen to be real people. And I'm like, that's fucking insane. But I've also had friends that were like, oh, I have my best friend growing up, she has a sugar daddy, so I'll get one too. And they just get scammed, and I'm like, motherfucker, you gotta be safer than that.
Yeah.
Like, I know how nice $500 every other week for just like doing nothing sounds, but that's literally can't be true. That like you're insane.
Yeah. We discussed some safe practices for getting sugar daddies actually at one of my jobs.
You're kidding me.
You know which one it was too. I mean,
100%.
Anyways, so what I've learned is basically the safest way to accept that money is to make an Amazon like wish list shopping cart worth whatever the money is that they say they're going to give you. And just have them pay for it, because it doesn't give anyone's banking information to anybody. It doesn't give any address. It literally gives no information other than fucking Pussy Liquor 420 bought your shopping cart, and then they confirm like I need to chill out. Actually, I'm
No, that's
gone
sick
too
as-
far.
That's gonna be a recurring character in this podcast.
Anyways, but then nobody's info's leaked at all, and you get $500 worth of shit. You know what I mean?
I love that that was a conversation you had at your place of work, first of all. But I mean, that sounds safer, but like, I don't, something about the whole like sugar daddy, sugar mama thing kind of just like makes me feel gross. I don't know.
I'm actually on the same boat. I got that ad, and honestly, it's probably one of the more real ones I've ever seen. Not because the message says it's for real or whatever.
No,
But
that's giving it's real.
Yeah, but because when I click on the account, it looks like a real ass person is what is setting me off. But I couldn't accept that because I, for one, am honestly too uncomfortable taking other people's money in general.
No, like that's I wouldn't honestly, that's not my deal. My deal is just like with like the actual like sugar mommies and sugar daddies and stuff like that. I feel like mommies, that's not right. Sorry. I feel like so often with the people that I know, they're like, "Oh yeah, they just had me chat with them." And I'm like, "Do you know how fucking awkward I would feel chatting with someone who's in like their mid 40s, even if they're paying me money to chat with them?" What the hell am I gonna say? How's the family?
how's the fucking family?
How's the mortgage?
What if the topic was very particular? You know, so if you think about it,
message me and they're like, "Yo, how is the freaking Dragon Ball Fortnite event going?"
Yeah,
I could pop off to some of that. Not gonna lie.
What if because like therapists basically get paid to do that, you know?
I guess they're like the reverse sugar daddy.
The reverse sugar daddy. You pay them to. Okay. Do you
pay me? Tell me stuff.
So I guess what if they just wanted to talk about life? They're just like, man, it's been hard. You know, like, I just want somebody to. Could you do that for $500?
Complaining to me about their life, and they're doing it for free. You know.
Oh yeah, but if you know, let's say you know, a strapping 65-year-old gentleman, you know, wanted to send you $700 every other week, and you meet. To hear about his problems.
You know what? Like,
are you in?
If I had a very like real source and I did that once and it went like not awful, I'd probably do it. I'm gonna be real. I'd probably do it. Like, I'd probably just keep going back, be like, "What's up, Gary or whatever his name is, Pussy Liquor 420."
It's his user for sure.
What's up? And we stay on a fully just screen name basis, and they're like, all right.
"What's your IGN, I guess, or whatever your Zoom name?"
That's a shitty thing for me because a lot of mine is just my name at this point.
I actually use my name too as my IGN now.
Because I didn't used to use my name, but then I like kind of was like, oh, I mean, if someone wanted to kill me, they don't need my name. If they really care, they can just get my IP address and find me.
That's the thing, yeah. If somebody really wants to fucking kill you, you're already fucked.
They already got the tools. They can find me pretty easily. And it's like, no one, I'd say 80% of the time, I can just put my first name and I'm like chilling. Mm-hmm. But then if that doesn't work, I do my first and last name and it's like, oh, I'm set.
Yeah,
it's like the exact opposite of what you're like taught to do when you're first on the internet. They're like, have a fun name, but don't have any of your personal information. And at this point, it's like, what's my social security number? You know?
Yeah, you're like fucking
trying to give out as much as I can.
Tate Fauché, downtown, fucking Salt Lake City. Fucking 420 Street.
James up there with me. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's good shit. That is good shit.
It's how we find the pussy lickers in the world.
It's true. So on my Discord, it is just my name and a photo of me, and then my League of Legends username is just my full name. I've just fully embraced it, you know. I live and die by the password.
The thing is, you embraced it, and you were one of the ones that set me off. I was like, maybe I just go full in.
Really, you were inspired by me.
I was inspired by you, and also younger me, because when I was in elementary school, middle school, the Lego Universe MMO was out, and me and my older brother used to play that all the time. And his character was, you know, his screen name, and mine was Tate, and my second character was Tate 2.
My god.
I was like young at the time, so like, and I wasn't like used to being online, so it was just easier for me because people would message in the chat like, "Oh, Tate, you know, let's go in." I'd be like, "All right, bet."
Yeah, honestly, there's just something so right about someone being like, hey Damien or hey Tate, like let's do this or whatever.
Yeah,
Because
or like you play League of Legends, like Damien, you suck ass. And you're like, yeah,
yeah, you're right. You are right. But honestly, when you get the message and it's like, hey, Pussy Liquor 420, you suck ass, it doesn't hit the same, you
it
know?
doesn't hit the same as someone saying, Tate, kill yourself. You know, then it's like, you get me.
Yeah, there's actual real shame in that. Fucking Christ. No, honestly, I would recommend switching to the names. I like the name. You gotta
The
fully
name is
embrace
fun.
it. Oh
So
my
yeah, I've been
God.
doing that on a good chunk of stuff. I haven't switched my league name because
It's expensive.
I don't like yeah, it's expensive. I have some like RP. God, we're
Okay.
just talking League of Legends now, but
Mm-hmm.
I like this game already makes me sad enough that I think if it got that to that like point where someone knew my name and they said, "Hey, Tate," and then called me like as many slurs, more slurs than I've ever seen, then I'd be like, "All right, I think I'm gonna call it for the night."
I think I'm gonna go to bed. Hit the fucking A. No, League
Chill
is
out.
so fucking brutal. I don't know. Have I ever told you I don't play with all chat?
Oh, I've only played with you like a handful of times, but no, yeah, I know that at this point.
Okay, yeah, I don't play with all chat, and like it's helped a lot because like a lot of the time when people are like saying mean shit, they want to say it in all chat. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're like typing it to everybody, like, oh, this fucking top laner or whatever, he's a fucking
Yeah.
piece of shit, degenerate. Like, go to Africa if you're gonna feed that much. You know what I mean? Like,
Holy fuck!
you never seen that one in League?
No, I've never seen that one.
Oh my god, it's a good one, but it's a bad one. You know, it's you really want to go next when you see that one.
God damn, dude. I've never seen that one. I don't even know if that one makes me feel bad.
It does. It really does.
God.
But have you ever seen the Mom Go Sky? Are you familiar?
No, I these are so like foreign to me.
Oh, well, that one's like not really common here because like freedom of speech or whatever. But like, I'm pretty sure in like South Korea, your video game account is linked to your social security number. I
You're
don't know.
shitting me.
No, it's really actually linked to your ID. So if you get banned, like you're actually banned.
Holy
So
fuck.
instead of saying like kill yourself or like I hope your mom dies, they say Mom Go Sky. That's what they say.
Mom Go Sky.
Like I want your mom to go to heaven. Like she hope she dies, you know?
Mom Go Sky. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not insane, but that just goes hard as fuck. You're like,
Does
oh,
it?
I can't insult you, and I can't use any like language that would lead to them thinking I'm insulting you.
Mhm.
Mom Go Sky.
Just simple. They keep it simple there. Mom Go Sky. Just hope your mom dies.
God, maybe that should be my new like gamer tag.
It's
Mom
certain.
Go-
It's
or do you think that would be an instant ban?
it's taken. It's taken, and I don't even know. It depends on the game because you never really hear it like in America. That's not like an insult.
you
It's
think
just
if
like
got
I hope
into
you kill
Fortnite
yourself.
and said "Mom Go Sky," do you think anyone would know what's going on?
No, you just say kill yourself or
Just
hope
say
your
kill
mom
yourself.
gets cancer or whatever. Like,
Everyone's already saying it, so you don't get in trouble here.
yeah, no, that's just the way it works. Actually, what do you think about that in general, which is like video games being heavily regulated by the government? What's your initial thought right when I said that?
I think that's crazy. Like it's such a like a not important thing, video games. Like I
Mhm.
guess like there are the moments where people go insane, like who are actually clinically have something going on and they'll like kill people over it.
Mhm.
But that's like so out of left field. That's so separated. That's like anything could set them off, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of like that's not even why it's set up like that. Like it's not actually there to like help, the
Is it just
that
what's the reason then?
yeah, I guess in like countries like China and like South
They
Korea.
just want like more control over
It's-
the people?
Yeah, I guess like all internet stuff's just regulated. Like all of it.
That's-
Like anytime you're on, you're like using your social security number to say who you are.
That's I mean, I don't
This
know.
is-
I imagine it has its perks for some things to make it like a safer place, the internet, but
Mhm. In general, it's
You
just
know-
stripping you of like privacy.
yeah, like I don't want people to know that I've been grinding some game and staying in iron rank, I don't want that.
That's true.
That just makes me feel bad.
Yeah, this is old news, so it's not really worth like staying
Well, it's
on
gonna
a
be new to me probably.
Yeah, but not really worth like a full segment, but I guess initial thoughts is
Mhm.
in China, I'm pretty sure it was China. Maybe it was South Korea. one of the countries, I can look later and we can verify, but one of the two of them just set up a law where now like your social security number and your webcam, if you aren't an adult, will turn off your access after like 7 p.m. or like 8 p.m. at night. Like you cannot play games anymore. You have to be like a good student, you know?
That is a lot.
Except on like Saturdays. I think you can go.
That's like being regulated by, I guess, yeah, like daddy government. What
yeah,
the fuck?
That's some like 1984 type shit where it's
Yeah.
like, all right, time for your mandatory bedtime and fucking spanking.
That's a bit much for me. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like I'm sure. Yeah, like maybe it helps with some things, but
there's like a laying flat issue, which is like I said, this is all like older news and like kind of not really. I don't think we're the experts on it, but basically in like
experts on anything.
We are. I think we are on a few topics, particularly one that starts with the letter C. But
yes.
Basically, there's an issue, and again, I don't remember exactly which countries it's in. It might be like China, Japan, and South Korea. But like young people right now, you know, millennials, of course, because they're still young. But basically, the younger people over there have a laying flat issue, is what it like translates to in English, and it means like they're not doing anything. Like they're not going out, they're not leaving their homes, like they're just like at home existing, you know. But like I can see why, you know. Sometimes I kind of feel like that myself. Like I'm like, life sucks, everything out there sucks, you know. But they're trying to move away from like that, like laying flat, I guess, and get people like motivated and
like go out and live life.
Yeah, like go out, have kids, like fucking.
But the thing is, like, people are so concerned about people not like doing shit and not having children. There's people that have children. People can have kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe not everyone needs to have kids. There's already way more than enough people alive.
I think so.
Like,
yeah.
Every time I leave the house, I'm like, oh god, I wish there were less of you.
Yeah, this getting back to the fucking Brave New World book, though, man, because companies want labor. They need people to work for them, so they need to start fucking manufacturing basically slaves.
But like, that's not chill, bro.
That's not chill. That's not cash money.
That's not cash money at all.
No, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of like social media blows out of proportion. Like, I think birth rates are generally going down. But like you said, I don't think it's like we're not plummeting. We're not just fucking eradicating the human race. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and also, what would be the problem of the birth rates going down? For people are gonna keep having kids. Like, yeah. I'm obviously this is not our expertise. You know, we could talk all we want about a game of League of Legends, and I'm still not the expert there, but I'd have more information there than here.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I know fucking a shitload of people that are having children. My brother just had a kid, and he was one of the last people I think would have a kid in his life.
Did he name his kid after himself?
No. You want to hear something funny? This is I fucking died at this. I don't know if it was with ill intent or whatever, but they were so they named their kid Christine.
Mm-hmm.
Really cute kid. But they were talking about middle names, and my brother brought up, what if we made her middle name Tate? And Dina, his wife, went, oh, no.
Oh, my God. She's like disgusted. What a garbage name.
Hell?
What a bad name.
First of all, why would he recommend my name as the middle name? And then the fact that she was so against it, maybe.
She was repulsed, quite frankly.
On God. No. Honestly, I would be too.
I think, are we gonna go right into naming fucking kids after yourself?
That would be a nice little segue into why do some parents like name their children like it's like a family name? Like they keep naming kids after themselves or their father, but their father named their kid after their father, which was the same as their name, and you know.
Yeah. Do you want to just kick it off on your thoughts right away?
I would love to, because I come from a family where all of my uncles except like 2 were named Jonathan. Including my father and one of my cousins, and that's my middle name. Like, I was this close to just being another Jonathan.
How would you feel if you were Jonathan number 5?
The thing is, I wouldn't be Jonathan number 5 if I was named Jonathan. I would be like 7 or something like that.
Oh my God.
When we go to family gatherings and they say John Fauché,
mm-hmm.
like 8 guys will look over. 8 fully
Jesus.
grown men with beards will look over and they'll be like, huh? And it's like, okay, I get it. And like for my family, it's even crazier than that because like my mom was adopted,
Mhm.
and her adoptive father John, and her birth father also John, and also her biological like half brother that we met a few years ago also John. And I was like, what are the fucking odds? How can we find so many people with this boring ass name?
Do you fit the John Fauché aesthetic? I feel like you don't. Like you just described fully grown men with beards and like.
So I'm growing my facial hair for the first time right now.
Okay.
I hate it. I hate this shit. I
Really?
told myself I was gonna do it for at least a month. Not even there yet. It's getting nasty. Like, well, it's getting longer and like, I don't know, man. I don't do this stuff. I usually keep my face very nicely clean. And
All right. I'll need to
like,
see a photo of this because
oh god,
I have no idea what it would be like.
It's like. The thing is, I don't grow a lot of facial hair. That's why I don't really fit into the Jonathan Fauché aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
But like, oh god, I don't want to send you a photo. I look fucking insane.
You don't need to right now. No, you can wait till later. I mean, I usually have like a beard. That's like pretty par for the course.
It fits your aesthetic. I walk around with this, and I feel like, man, I just look dirty right now.
You just look filthy.
I just look like I'm not taking care of myself because it just doesn't look good.
Maybe this could be our first Instagram post.
I actually already posted on Instagram, I think.
You did? You finally got one?
No, yeah, you check that out. Check that out. We anyone listening in, we have an Instagram, 2 states at one time.
Wait, I don't see any posts. I don't see any posts.
You don't? Did I post on the wrong one?
I think you did.
No, we got 2 posts.
Why don't I see them?
Oh, it posted our Are you logged into the right one? That'd be funny as fuck.
2 state with the weird picture of the
from One Piece, yeah.
No, wait, is our photo that picture of the fucking haircut meme that I posted?
No, what the hell?
Do we have 2 different Instagram accounts?
We have 2 Instagram?
My god. Oh my god. Alright, we'll get that sorted out later. That is fire.
That sorted out.
Yeah.
Well, I posted a shirt that I was thinking we could get for a recording.
What does it say? I haven't. This is news to me because I checked the Instagram, but apparently we have 2.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck. I didn't know. I was like wondering why you didn't see it. Let me send you this in just like a text message. Sorry, this isn't very riveting for the
listener
podcast in this moment, but I swear once I send it to Damien, we'll start talking about this shirt in great detail. Because
is it? Oh wait, is it the T-shirt that becomes a? Oh my god! I thought it was gonna be the one where it says like this T-shirt becomes like a cum rag after 2 a.m. or whatever.
Like 3 a.m. No, that's funny as fuck though. No, this T-shirt is a mesh black T-shirt with Pepe the Frog, but his eyes aren't there. There's just a hole for your nipples to be the eyes.
That's good. That could be our podcast. I wonder, will we ever switch to having video? I feel like no, but also maybe.
The thing is, I feel like video only works if we're in the same spot.
That's true. Yeah.
Because yeah, you can like banter and you can be like, oh, let's bring this thing out, and it can be a whole like interactive thing. But
yeah, and then you got the
having
3-foot
video of the
dildo
2
out.
of us sitting in front of our monitors, just like laughing, does nothing for the viewer.
Well, they would see how much we drink the coffee.
Oh,
that's the thing.
I actually this is my second cup.
I'm done. Yeah, I drank mine, so here we are. But no,
that became a staple. Just because I was like, hey, wait up, I gotta make some coffee.
Yeah, it's kind of the bit. I was telling somebody at my other job at the facility that at Dutch Bros, you and I had like a running gag where we would call something a bit that's like not a bit. It's just some bullshit that happened in the moment. We'd be like, yeah, it's kind of our bit right now or whatever. Like, or oh, that's the bit.
That's the bit. We just keep saying Morbius. And
yeah,
it's not a funny bit. And we're like, yeah, we know.
we fucking know because it's serious. Morbius it's fucking goated is what it is.
It's goated. I've been saying that.
Oh, no, but I guess I'm gonna give some quick thoughts on this naming children after yourself. I think it can be cute, but I don't think it should be like a tradition, really. Well, okay, I shouldn't tell people what the fuck to do. If you want it to be, go for it. I won't do it though, because I might give like a middle name as like a shout out or like a cameo.
Yeah, like to show like that this person really affected your life or was really important to your like, upcoming as a person.
Yeah. But I would not name my kid Damien. Not because I don't like the name. I do actually.
I mean, you put it everywhere.
I do. I actually
you go to every building and you write "fuck school" and then Damian Martin.
Yeah, I do. Honestly, if I put my own name, they'll never think it was actually me. It's like, why the fuck? Who would do that? That's got to be the worst criminal.
Sign off as yourself.
Yeah. So I guess if you give like a shout out, like cool, that can be like nice and like cool for you, but it can also be kind of like shitty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
it feels like there no thought went into the name, you know?
Yeah, it can be like. So I think there's two ways it can go wrong. Number one is like that other person kind of now has some expectation tied to them because they are kind of like the second version of somebody else, and that kind of can suck. And then the other way that I think it would be like shitty is if like there's some maybe poor memory tied to it as well, even if there's good ones, and then like they kind of have that also with them, which is like maybe you named him after like your uncle or something who was awesome and taught you all you know about Fortnite and Goku, but also maybe he died of a heroin overdose, and like now you fucking name your kid after this cool guy who played Goku in Fortnite, and he also OD'd. That guy
sounds cool as fuck. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's bad bit.
No, but like I think you get my point, which is just like
like there can be some rough memories that end up being tied to the name.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people in the moment when they're doing shit like that don't fully consider the holistic thing.
Like I had a friend in high school. I still see them like when I go home every once in a while. Their name's Wyatt, but they that's their middle name. Their first name is Virgil, but they're Virgil like the fourth. That's their like given name, Virgil the fourth. And they just never used it because they were like, yeah, no, that's just, all the people in my family's name, and it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, who in their right mind would name a kid Virgil in this day and age?
Yeah. And like, it sucks for the kid because they don't associate with their own name like at all. Cause like, that's somebody else. That's 4 other people actually, you know? That kind of sucks.
So. No, yeah. But you know what? I think in the right context, it can be done like nice, but I think, come on. I think you could have a little bit more life in naming a human being.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. There is I think one more topic I at least want to make sure we hit on because as we're kind of approaching this hour mark, and we've meaning to like talk about it, but never got around to it, which is living alone versus living with other people.
Oh yeah,
because this topic keeps coming up on our to-do list, and I think it's interesting because have both of us always lived with other people? Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, like besides like brief stints like of a month or so where I'd be living alone because my roommate would be gone.
Okay, so I guess why don't you maybe kick off because you have less experience and I have none with being at a place just totally alone. Like, what was your experience?
For myself, it can be really nice if you have like a steady thing going, like if you're busy a lot and you come home and you don't have to worry about what's your roommate cooking? Is there a shitload of onions and garlic in it and now the apartment smells? Or I don't want to go out there because they're working on their homework and I don't want to annoy them. Like you can just have that space to yourself and it feels really serene. But if you're not in the right headspace, that like which is unfortunately something I ran into most recently, because I just moved out here and there was no one here and I was like, oh fuck. So then I was just in this apartment on my own, and this new one that I'm living in it's a nice space, it's enough space for 4 people to be living comfortably in, and I was just here and living on my own. At that point I was like, what the hell? And it can be really secluding. Like you can just feel, even though the whole world is literally right there, for some reason it can feel like, oh, I'm alone.
Yeah, you like, I've actually had that feeling on a very small scale where like I'll have some of my family go on like a vacation, and then like I chose to not go, and then I have the house to myself for like 3 days, it's not even like a week, and then I'm just like, I feel like that first day is actually the most refreshing, where you're like, great, I'll do whatever the fuck I want, hand in my pants, fucking cooking eggs on the griddle, whatever. And then, the second day, you're like, and the third day, you're like, okay, why am I alone? Like,
just like the absence of like liveliness is just hard to be with,
Did you have your cat yet when this?
Yes, this most recent time I did have my cat. There was a time, well, the time when it happened last year, where my roommate at that time, James, who I still live with, but I only had him at that point. He went back to his hometown for like a month or something like that, like 2 weeks. And at that point in my life, I was alone. And for a few days, I had my good few days, and then I was like, oh, this kind of sucks ass. And then at that moment, I was in the headspace where I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go do shit. And I just like went out, had like met with friends, and I'd find shit to do every day. But then when people are not in the state that you're currently living in, like most recently, I'd gotten back earlier than a lot of people for the university I go to, because a lot of people go home or they go to workplaces just like I did. And I was like, what the hell do I do? Because I didn't, like, I had a few friends, but one of the shitty parts of not being here over the summer is you don't have a job for however long you're here. So before school starts, because I'm just getting my schedule like set up completely now, because it takes a second for the musical theater stuff to get put in place.
Wait, so you are just now getting your classes and what they look like?
Well, I have most of my class layout, but technically we have placement now, where it used to be we would go into our dance class. You get put in the very big bottom your freshman year, and if it's too easy for you, you get moved up. And if that one's too easy for you, you move you up. But now this year they have kind of streamlined it, so the entire first 3 days is spent in like the first 2 days you're in one whole group with the entire program, and it's going to be a lot. And they're going to be placing us where they think we're ready for at this point. So, because there were people that had been moved up, but then they didn't show up to classes, and maybe they got worse. They started putting in less effort. Or there's people that couldn't do some basic things, but they can do everything else, but they're being kept behind. So this first week, we don't even have what classes we're supposed to be in for our dance class. They should all be around the same time. It just depends on location now. So, and it's at the morning. But now that we finally have everything set, and I have my voice lesson times, because that's different for every different student, because I mean you can't have the 6, 7, 8 different voice teachers teaching everyone at the same time, because the group voice is not my favorite. It doesn't work amazing. But yeah, now that I have this, it's like, oh, I could look for a job, and I think I will, but then there's other things that you have to worry about just with university. But
I have it on very good authority that working at Best Buy is dank as fuck. From Scum.
Is dank as fuck. Yo, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if you have a Best Buy.
Yeah, you told me about how he got the job, and he was like, nah, you pay me more than that. And they're like, all right.
Yeah. He's getting paid pretty good right now. And it sounds like the work environment's really good. Like, he works with mostly, like, young people who are into games, and, like, everyone's, like, pretty chill, He's actually, like, leading in, like, tech support sales. So,
holy
like,
shit, really?
They, like, buy him lunch, and, like, they take him out, and, like, yeah, like he's like,
you know what? Let's go Scum.
Yeah, so like basically they do like it's like Pong, but the cups have like rewards, and if he gets the most sales, whatever he hits, he wins like an award, So
it's so fucking cool.
No, yeah. So, anyways, he's fucking killing it. But
let's go Scum.
Okay, but
yeah, that's my thoughts on living alone.
Right. Okay, and then I guess there's 2 categories for living with people. Because I think there needs to be like a distinguishing point for living with your family and living with other people. Because these are actually wildly different.
It's extremely even, I would put it.
So I can go ahead and kick this part off, because
please.
So I've lived with my family almost my entire life now. But there was about a year and a half where I basically lived with like my girlfriend and her mother, or my ex-girlfriend now. And I will say, living with your family is like, in my experience, it can be pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff that like gets taken care of for you that you like don't really appreciate until you've lived somewhere else, because then you're like, holy fuck, nobody does this thing. But then also you realize, holy fuck, somebody does this other thing for me. And like, yeah, so it's always, there's pros and cons to it. But
yeah,
I will say, like, living at home, it's like, I don't know. There's kind of a stigma around it where you're like, yeah, do you really want to invite people over in your 20s if you like live with your like parents, Like, that's kind of sus, Like, I definitely don't want to throw like a party at my house or anything. Like, that's not ever going to happen. But I would say it's been like wildly beneficial for me to like pay for my own tuition. So like I only have $1,000 in student loans, and I got to graduate
Yeah.
with a 4-year degree. Yeah, no, and like I consider that versus the alternative, which is
Versus what I'm going to have.
which is, I mean, if you want, you can mention your loans.
I won't talk about how much, but it
Okay.
is significantly greater than $1,000.
Yeah, so for me, I don't pay a rent, and then because my mom's been like super helpful with like just like letting me pay for school to graduate, and then like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm planning on moving out in the spring. So in exactly like 9.5 months ish, my brother and I are gonna move out together. But yeah, I just want to finish my undergrad first. So living at home has been like, it's kind of chill. It's really the same routine. You're in this fucking revolving door of the same problems and same good qualities forever, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same people. They do the same shit. Nobody's changing. It's your family. But then when I moved out and I was living with my ex and like her mom, basically,
Mhm.
It is so strange getting to know what other people do and what other people expect from you. And I don't know if
what
you've
their 100%. I get what you're saying. What their regular like home life, day to day shit is.
Mm-hmm.
Like-
Because go ahead. You start.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I can list off an example, which is like my ex's like family. They really wanted to sit down and have dinner. Like that was like the standard. Like I couldn't take my dinner and eat it in the office room and stick around and play League of Legends at the same time. Like dinner time was like, okay, we all eat the same meal and we eat it together. And it's like like at my household, I come from like a fend for yourself kind of household where like my
100%.
mom will sometimes make like a dinner and like, because she's busy, she works a lot. She's a single mom. So growing up, a lot of the time it was like whatever the fuck you want to make, you just make for yourself. Like she just bought the food.
Yeah.
You're fucking 14 years old, you can make food, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, like a normal day would be like I make myself top ramen, I make myself cup of noodle, I make myself like mac and cheese, like, and that was like a normal dinner. And then I just would eat in my room and play games. But now I'm at this household and they want me to eat like meatloaf. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, let's start. Like, that's a little weird. Sus. Who eats meatloaf in 2022? But, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, for me, there was a really weird like relationship with food when I was over there, which is like, I felt bad if I didn't eat what they were having. And I don't know if you've had that experience, but like that for me was one example of like living with other people where the norm suddenly got like flipped on its head. So.
No, yeah, I can say for I mean, I didn't live with, a significant other and, someone in their family. So it's a bit different for me, but like, there are some things I've had to get used to. Like my one roommate, James, for instance, like he just grew up in a very different household. He's Asian, James Wong, and his family was very traditional with how they do things. So like he's didn't know how to use a dishwasher and stuff like that. He didn't know what a garbage disposal was. So I just like had to teach him those things, and that was just different. Or like,
did he just hand wash dishes, or like are we talking like they had a maid?
Dishes for a whole year. It sucked ass.
No,
I mean it wasn't awful. It was completely fine. But like growing up with something that made it easier, and then having that, I was like, oh fuck, college, but. It's whatever. But then for my like growing up living with my family, I mean, while my like parents were still together, it was more so, like my mom it was a stay-at-home mom. She had her nonprofit that she ran for the homeschooling, which was great. But we had some of those things where like we would try to eat together. Well, when they were together, we would try to eat together most nights, but that didn't really go over well. And then, it became more of a fend for yourself kind of deal. Like, she'd buy food, she'd make dinner every once in a while. A good portion. I'd say like 2 days out of the week, she'd make the dinner, and I'd be like, oh, Pog. And we'd try to eat together or something like that. But it wasn't like a big deal. But I know that is a big deal for some families, which I think is really interesting because like, I think there's something about it that sitting down and like having conversation can like mean a lot to a family, but at the same time, it means absolutely nothing.
Right. And it's like person to person how you like, it's kind of like, it's almost like religion where it can be like so meaningful for one person. and then the other person's like, "Can I just fucking eat my mac and cheese?"
No,
Like-
literally.
Like, what the hell?
Like, there's something about like manners, you know, waiting for everyone. If you're eating dinner with people, waiting for everyone to sit down and eat.
Mhm.
But like, once you get to that point where you're like, I don't know, living at that point where you don't really care.
Mhm.
I don't give a shit if someone doesn't have their, like, I'll wait if I'm like going out to dinner with someone, whatever. It's like a few minutes. But if
Yeah.
I'm sitting down with someone I live with, I'm not gonna wait 3 seconds for them to sit down. I'm gonna start eating whatever, my mac and cheese in this moment. I'm gonna start eating my fried chicken.
Your
I don't-
chicken tendies,
My
baby.
chicken tendies. My Dutch Bros chicken tendies. I'm not even gonna wait.
My God, they're coming in. They're coming in. By the way, I
Coming
didn't
in
want
with
to
that
spoil
pumpkin.
it.
Fox News is the scoop.
Yeah. No, I think I don't know. I'm trying to think of other examples of just like living with other people and how like it's kind of strange.
You know
I think,
what? I think the strangest thing. So I have this new roommate.
Mhm.
He's a cool guy. I don't know him like extremely well yet, but
Mhm.
I think the weirdest thing that I've noticed with him just like moving in is this is gonna sound so weird, but he's like he owns movies. He's a guy that owns movies. He'll go out of his way to buy discs. And
He
I'm
has
like,
physical copies.
he has
Like,
physical copies, and I don't know why, but that totally caught me off guard because I have like hella board games, and you know, people, not everyone is into board games, but you know, he likes them. He had brought a few, but then
Mhm.
he brought in movies, and I was like, huh.
I'm like, what the
That
hell?
like it really that's a really like defining thing for me for some reason to be a movie guy instead of like a streaming guy.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I wonder about like having stuff. Like the stuff that people have is kind of I guess an interesting part of living with them as well because then you have to deal with like does this person take up a lot of space? I don't know if any of your roommates are like that at all or if they're mainly like in their own zone. Like I know for me, I like live in my room. Like I don't keep shit in the kitchen. I don't keep shit like I actually have my cooking stuff in my own room, which is
You have
probably
your cooking
fucking
stuff
weird.
in your own room.
It's probably fucking weird, right? Like
that is weird. I'm gonna let you know that is weird.
but like for me, especially since I live with so many people, like the stuff that I want to be mine has to be in my space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's like a habit I've developed. So like I'm looking right now to my left, I see I've got 2 different style rice cookers, some like
You have 2 rice cookers in your room?
yeah, I do. I don't cook in here, but they're in here. Maybe I'll send you a photo. But
Please.
basically I have a traditional rice cooker, like the machine, and I
Sure.
bought like a bamboo like steamer, like it's a box, and you like steam
yeah,
water, and you make sticky rice in it. So they're different kinds. They make different kinds of rice. So I have
There's
one.
merit to owning both of those things, but having them in your room is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to moving out and putting them in my kitchen, but I guess
Mhm.
maybe because I live with my family, I don't feel like the rest of the house is mine. You know,
That's
like,
fair. No, I haven't really like lived with my family since I moved to college. Like I came back for like bits of summer, like I did recently, like a few months at a time. But
Mhm.
I was like, you know, I packed a few bags and then I had clothes there, and I was like, all right. But I think if I ever actually moved back in with my family, which I think I'm gonna go on a little tangent here. I think it's
Mhm.
insane that in America it's so weird to live with your family,
Mhm.
like past whatever the age 18. I find no reason. Like if I was just going to school and doing my thing, why the fuck should I not live with my family? If it's in the distance that I can live there, hell yes, I would live with my family.
Do you think if your family like happened to like I don't know live in Utah, you
If
would
they
like
live close enough, I would live with them 100%.
yeah. How much do you
There's-
think you would? It's up to you if you want to say it.
Oh, how much would I save?
Yeah.
I mean, if they lived in Utah and all that, I would be getting like in-state tuition as well. So that would be there'd be a lot of things.
There'd be a lot of money basically
there'd
not
be a
getting
lot
paid.
of money. No,
Okay.
yeah. If I didn't go to school for musical theater, I would either be going to school in Oregon or I would just not go to school.
Right.
And like I don't know, because in so many like foreign countries, it's so normal to live with your parents until you can like fully like depend on yourself, you know?
Yeah, you're like complete.
Like,
You're independent. You know. So
Yeah, which because like I'll say I'm not independent right now. I fully depend on like, well, not fully, but for the most part, depend on my family.
Mhm. And James
Like
Wong
I feel like it's
to pay
such
his
yeah,
bill.
and James. Oh God, no, and it's so weird that in this country, it's so like, oh yeah, you move out. Like I feel like sometimes it even looks like people think that others like are not succeeding if they haven't moved out, which is so weird. Because like I have a buddy who he's working, he's just saving up money till he can, and well, I mean he's going to be moving out soon actually because he was staying there for his girlfriend, but that actually ended, which is unfortunate for him.
Shit.
But he's like, he was just living home because that was easier, and he helped his family with some bills when stuff was going wrong, and it just makes sense for him, because that is in the area and he's doing his thing. And I don't know, I just like get really pissed off whenever people are like, oh, you still live at home, because there's a good portion of people that I've met since moving here that are just a little bit more well off than others, and I'm like, that doesn't mean two shits. If I had family within driving distance of the school, I'd be doing that too.
That's weird. I actually haven't really had that experience. Usually when people like ask me like, oh, do you still like live at home? And I just say like, yeah, no one gives a shit. Maybe because like where I'm at, like this Harrisburg, Junction City, Eugene, like that area is just like, I don't know, like mostly middle like class.
It could
or
just
like
be
lower.
that I'm around a lot of stuck up people.
It could be, yeah. But usually when I tell people like, yeah, like I live at home and I just pay off my tuition, like usually most people are like, good for you. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're telling me you have like no debt at all and you're gonna have a degree? And I'm yeah, like I just like right now, this is kind of a weird tangent, but I'll say it real quick. It's like right now I'm saving up like a couple $1,000s over the summer, and it's just gonna completely pay my tuition. You know what I mean? Like I basically pretend like I have $80 in my bank account at all times and put all of my money into an account that's going to pay the tuition, and then bada bing bada boom, we're living debt free as best we can.
Pog as fuck. Also, we might have gone a little bit over. Sorry, I totally just went on like a tirade on living.
No, I think it's good. I the 1 hour mark, it's just a guideline usually, but
just a guideline.
Did you have any other thoughts on it you wanted to bring up? Which is, I mean, you live with multiple roommates now.
Yeah, I will say this is the first time I've lived with like a handful of people, because it's been just James and me up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun to see like all the different aesthetics in a room, like because now that everyone's like moved in, except for the one guy with the movies, he actually just went on a trip to see his girlfriend, and I was like,
oh yeah,
he drove all the way to Utah. And then he's driving to Washington now, or like he drove in over the course of like 2 days, 3 days, like 30 hours. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Jesus Christ.
So he's crazy for that. Live your life.
Wait, is that a long-term relationship that they're...
No.
Wait, no. What is going...
It's we could talk about that separately, but it's insane. But yeah, like seeing everyone's different aesthetics in their rooms is so fun, because like I've got my whole gaming set up, and I've got my TV, because I pretty much live in my room too. Like I'll go downstairs to be interactive with people.
Do you keep your rice cookers in there?
No, but we do have the problem that we have 2 rice cookers now, and I'm like,
and they're not they're not different kinds.
They're the same type, but one of them is just nicer.
Oh no. Who had the nicer one?
James, obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
Obviously. But yeah, seeing everyone's different aesthetic, like mine is really like I show very clearly that I'm, I like the things I like. I've got my One Piece flag. I've got my monitor set up, my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my cat stuff. But then you go into my roommate Nate's room, and he's really into tea, and his roommate is like really zen and like just like calm. And I'm like, mine's kind of insane. But then you go into James's room, and it's full of posters of like, what's her name? Holy shit! How am I forgetting her name? She's a famous singer. God damn it. I'll think of it in like 3 seconds.
Billie Eilish.
No.
No?
No, older than that. Holy shit. Barbara Streisand. He loves Barbara Streisand.
Okay.
James is James. He's...
Yeah, I don't know. I was just, shot in a miss.
I love Billie Eilish, though. Fair enough. And then, like, I don't know. It's just cool to see all these different like personalities living in a house, because I feel like growing up in with my family, obviously, you all have differences in like what you appreciate, but you all grow up the same way, so you set things up in kind of similar ways. I don't know if that's something you can relate to with your family, but like
it's just messy. You've seen my room. I don't even like. I don't know. It's weird.
Anyways.
I think Scom's room is more organized, but
really,
the
best gamer himself.
Yeah, I think he just like has like clothes in one spot, and then like stuff in drawers, mostly. But like
well,
for
I'm
me,
excited to see what you do with your room once you move out. Your new room.
my concern is that I'm actually going to do nothing. Like, I think I'm going to be one of those guys that keeps like a lawn chair in his room.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Like, Dominic and I have actually been talking about moving out. And we're trying to figure out if we even want to buy a couch or like a TV.
No, I'm not gonna let you do that. I will freak the fuck out at you.
I'm being serious. That's the worst
You
part.
guys have like the worst bachelor pad ever. You
Like
got a lawn chair in the room with the TV on the floor.
no
TV's
TV.
a monitor set up
No
with like an
t-
Xbox 360.
There's going to be no TV, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think we didn't grow up with cable television, so I don't think we're going to really want a TV.
The thing is, I grew up with I didn't grow up, but for the early parts of my year, my parents, had cable television. They got rid of it eventually because they're like, well, no one cares about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a TV, but I don't use it for any of that stuff. I have it for like, if I have my Switch downstairs. So if people come over to play games, then I'm like, oh, let's play some Smash Bros. And we don't have to all cram into my room on my monitor.
Yeah, but like, just don't invite people. What do you think about that? Just go to their house and play. I don't know. Here's the thing. I honestly feel like you came to my room and I multiple times reiterated that I had not put any of the decorations up. That was kind of a bit. And I live by that. I remember when you came over and there was like a collage on my wall of stuff.
And the gay poster and the Jinx.
Yeah, all of that I took it all down. Like,
really?
I don't have stuff up anymore, really. Yeah. All the hats that I used to have hanging up are gone. My walls are just barren.
Your room was insane. That's how I can only think of it, to be fair, though.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think for me, when I move out, I might just do the fucking gamer chair, some bath water, some gamer girl bath water.
Gamer girl piss.
Gamer girl piss. Yeah, and then, but the thing is, I don't know. I think I am actually unironically going to be one of the nothing in my house kind of guys.
I'm going to keep, every time that you have like some event, I'm going to keep sending you things to put up. If that Morbius giant ass sticker isn't on your door.
I don't know where the fuck that went, actually. I think I put it in a drawer somewhere. That didn't get put up, I will say. Unfortunately. I don't know where it is. I didn't throw it away. That's for sure. I just said it somewhere.
Yeah, I would be so upset. I was like $50. No, I'm kidding.
$50 fucking dollars.
Oh my god. Well,
is there any other topics you wanted to hit on?
I feel like we're probably even past time at this point. It might be a little long because, the thing is, you and me, we could keep talking forever.
That's true, yeah. It's kind of why we put a hard limit on it around that hour mark.
Ding, ding, ding. Here we are at the end.
All right. Well, this was our a good, successful second episode. And
yeah, thanks for listening.